going on, people? Welcome to DR Sports and welcome to the preview ahead of England's first game of the World Cup here in Qatar 2022 against Iran tomorrow behind us at the Khalifa Stadium. This is the preview. We've done like predicted 11s and all of that stuff. We're getting really excited now. It's time to go through the actual game and how we think this is going to pan out tactically, how to set up, being on the front foot versus not, back five versus back four, the heat playing an aspect, substitutions, etc., and some stats as well. So let's get into it. England preview. How are we feeling?
Yeah, so big up to Opta for sending over these stats. Otherwise, we'd be fairly lost. And we've also got a couple of them wrong in the video yesterday, which I apologise for. But this will be the first ever encounter between England and Iran. They've never actually beaten any European opposition at the World Cup before. Drawn 2, lost 6. Now, England have qualified for the FIFA World Cup for the 16th time. It's the 7th appearance in a row, which is actually the longest streak ever that they've had in this competition. And they're also the only European team to have reached the semi-finals in each of the last 2 major tournaments, obviously the Euros and the World Cup as well. And 12 of England's last 18 goals at the World Cup have been scored from set pieces, so 75% of the goals. Now, to me, that tells you that the set piece specialists in this team have to play a part.
They do. And I know this sounds really cliche, but the most important thing is winning this game. In tournament football, when you've got 3 group games to get out of it, and we want to make sure we top the group, when you're playing against Iran, when you look at the task of facing the USA, tough game, Wales, tough game. On paper, England have better players than those nations, but those 2 nations will give us a tough game. We have to be collecting 3 points here. Really windy up here, actually. We've got to be collecting 3 points against Iran, and that's no disrespect to Iran. We're going to have to be absolutely at it. The weather's going to play a factor, the heat and stuff like that. But in a weird way, if England win but scrape through, it's not going to do anything for us, because
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Because we've had such a poor lead into this World Cup. What was it? 5 losses and then a draw. Not winning in 6. I think it was that. Could be wrong. Our stats are always wrong off the top of our head, but that sounds about right. Basically, we're not playing well going into this tournament, and I think if we won by a penalty, 1-0, yes. Afterwards, it'll be, listen, it's 3 points, we keep going, and you build into a tournament. So that is the most important thing. But I actually want a bit of a statement. I want this England team to show that they've woken up, they're ready to start this on the front foot, and that the form that we've shown before doesn't necessarily mean we're going to bring it into this.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you talk about Iran, who have they got to maybe hurt England? Mehdi Taremi, 4 goals and 2 assists.
I was going to say Mediterranean.
Almost.
Yeah.
4 goals, 2 assists in only 6 appearances. So no Iran player has been involved in more goals during his time there than him. So obviously he's their main man, but I agree with you. I think if England win this 1-0 and scrape it, it's almost a lose-lose situation. But if you come out here and you put 4 or 5 past them, with all due respect, then it does make a statement, and it sets you that momentum that you need going into the latter stages.
I don't think we will, though, as well. England just aren't emphatic like that, are we? We never usually dispatch of teams like that, especially at tournament level when we actually get there. Doesn't matter who it's against. And also, you've got to think about Iran. They're probably looking at this like, right, okay, we've actually got a free hit against England, hardest team in the group to play. We look at Wales.
Nothing to lose, really.
Nothing to lose.
3 points.
But do you know what I mean? In terms of a free hit, they look like they've got better opportunities against Wales and USA to pick up a point and obviously more. So how does that affect them? Because if they sit back, camp in, 4-5-1 or 3-5-2 or whatever it may be, with a back 5 or something like that, a wall, two banks of 4, whatever it is, and England are moving the ball too slowly, we can't create chances. If that happens and it gets to half time, it's 0-0, gets to the 65th minute, 70th minute, 0-0, do we start to get a bit nervy? Because I'll tell you now, a draw in the first game against Iran would feel bad, feel really bad, 100%.
Harry Kane is the top scorer of the 2018 FIFA World Cup, 5 goals in 6 there. No player's ever been top or joint top scorer at 2 different World Cup tournaments.
That's mad.
He's going to know that stat already. He's going to want to make history. I mean, club-wise, there's no trophies in his cabinet, but if he can kind of put a marker down and say, hey, he's going to be England's all-time leading goal scorer very soon.
You'd think so, yeah.
But if he can also get that record in his bag as well, how big a tournament is this for Harry Kane?
It's massive, man, because in the Euros, right, he was kind of non-existent throughout the whole group stage. Then he started to come alive in the knockouts. And look, essentially, it doesn't matter who gets the goals. Do you know what I mean? If England go far, or if England, my God, if we win, no one's going to think, but Harry Kane didn't do anything, or this player that England would have won. Or if we get, into the latter stages via Harry Kane not scoring a goal, I'll still take it. I don't care. But for him personally, when you're talking about how big is it for him, it's massive. When you see yourself as arguably the best striker in the world, arguably, or up there in that company like he does, and rightly so with the numbers he gets, you have to come to big tournaments and perform. This is the pinnacle of football, not just club football, of football. This is where if you do it at club level and you play for a strong nation, all the eyes are on you. The likes of Mbappe, the likes of Lewandowski. It would have been Benzema. Obviously, unfortunately, he's out of the tournament. Obviously, Messi and Ronaldo are anomalies, but the top scoring players at club level around the world, whether it's Champions League, like it is Harry Kane, are the number nines, and they come here with huge expectations. So, yeah, we want to see him go. If he's firing, it means England are firing, isn't it? So, it's a massive tournament for him.
And if he does go with a Foden or a Mount in that number 10 position, feeding balls, maybe in behind, we know he likes to come a bit deeper as well, but do you think he's got enough creativity behind him to make him flourish?
It's kind of been a little bit of a conundrum, isn't it? Who's that out-and-out creative player? I mean, that's why James Maddison would have been so key in this team. I don't think he would have been starting, even if he hadn't missed the last couple of training sessions anyway, because again, I think Carroll's just going to go with people he knows, and players like Maddison and the newbies will kind of maybe come off the bench here or there. But yeah, there needs to be creativity. I mean, if Harry Kane drops off the front, he almost becomes the creator himself, which could take away from his goals. But again, he's quite a selfless character, the Harry Kane. I don't think he'll mind doing that at the right times. And we've seen at Tottenham, if he does drop deep and he has runners, whether it's Richarlison and especially Son, in this case Saka, in this case Sterling. One thing about Sterling is he might not be the most clinical in front of goal, but his movement's exceptional, and he will be at it, and he will make runs in behind. So I think it's actually can work for Harry Kane, where he can still be the main man without scoring all the goals.
Well, behind us now is the Khalifa Stadium. It's looking like a mix between the Etihad, the Velodrome, Wembley.
Yeah, literally it's like a hybrid of all three of them. That's actually
and we've seen inside the stadium as well. There's a big kind of, not a running track, but there's a lot of space between the pitch and fans. Do you think that has any difference to play when it comes to how our English players are playing every week back home in these tight stadiums?
No, if anything, it helps them. When you come to World Cup atmospheres, it is a bit different. It's less tribal in terms of there's like a mix of fans sort of everywhere. It's less strict of home and away, small away allocation, and your home fans are on you, and you're struggling. Like if you're playing at Anfield, you're playing in them tight stadiums, Fulham, etc., Old Trafford, where the fans are close to the pitch. They'll just go out there and play. They need to just go out there and play the game. I don't think they'll be fazed by, the fans are a bit far away or they're a bit close. They're just ready to play the game. And actually, I think there's going to be an awful lot of England fans in there. I know Iran coming here, I'm never playing England before. There'll be a lot of Iranian fans as well. But I think there'll be a lot of Qatarians. We've seen a lot of people from here that are backing in England as well. So England will have a lot of support. I think the majority of support in there.
Well, let's get into our predictions before we wrap it up.
Yes.
Obviously, it's such a big game, and we're here covering it all for you on DR Sports. I'm assuming you're going for an England win.
I am. England win. I think it will be tight and cagey. I don't think we'll be free-flowing and smash them, but I'm going to go for 2-0. Maybe a goal in the first half, goal in the second.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0,
Okay.
Just because of the quality that England have and can bring off the bench.
Yeah.
Rumours that Maddison might not be available for that first game, and obviously Walker's out of it as well. So, I mean, we've made our predictions, our lineup predictions. Let us know what you think they are going to be, and we'll see what Gareth chooses tomorrow. But for now, take care. England versus Iran tomorrow. It's a massive one. We'll see you then.